Right now at 5, as we mark the 25th anniversary of 9/11, the Fort Scott Fire Department expands its Stair Climb Memorial to honor the first responders who made the ultimate sacrifice.
And our alert days continue, still through Sunday, with dangerous heat out there. We're going to break it down for you coming up.
Plus, recruits become full members of the Pittsburgh Fire Department during a pinning ceremony.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Porter. It's finally Friday in the four states, August the 14th. Let's double check. I guess maybe it's just me. I feel like my tie looks like, it looked off, like I couldn't get it to tie. I redid it and I'm like, I'm going to end up missing the show.
Like the knot feels thick, but aside from
yeah,
that,
I don't know.
okay.
It looks all right.
It's okay. We're twinning at least with the blue.
I didn't even mean to do that. See, now that's the other thing. You'll see other stations, not just here, but I mean across the country. You'll see this stuff. I see it on Facebook all the time. They're like, but like they plan it. Like it's so obvious. There's no way that they could have accidentally done what they did. Especially when you get those bigger city stations where they got like a morning team of like 8 people at the desk and they're all wearing the same color and like, oh my gosh, Mike, no, you planned it because you think it's cute and funny.
I don't even know what I'm wearing until that morning. Like
Same.
we couldn't plan it.
I'm in the dark. I like pull out my ties and they're all dark colors.
Whatever's
like,
on the hanger is there.
Yeah, I'm like, that one looks like a good one today. Anyway, well, happy Friday. Hopefully Friday's off to a good start. It is warm outside, man. I feel like it is warmer this morning than it was yesterday morning. I don't think it's any different, but it just feels that way. And it's going to continue to stay hot. Let's make sure this is in the right spot. It is good. Let's start with a live look from the West Coast camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. So basically, just say anytime I'm saying, in the right spot, this is basically like the way this system works is it's basically a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation with the power of After Effects. Like we build a slideshow of all these little screens and graphics for you. And then it uses basically like the power of After Effects to create all the cool animations and stuff. But that's pretty much it. Sometimes I don't always have the slides in the right spot. MoDOT camera 32nd and Hammond's looking good. Quick look outside on the numbers. That's why I think it is. I think yesterday's job was like 81, 82. I mean, I not really feel the difference, but it's 84, 82 in Pittsburgh. Around the region, we've got low mid 80s for a good number of us. Cassville, you're the cool spot. It's 78, 79s, Nevada, Stockton, Mount Vernon, and Bentonville. And then you factor in the heat index. Maybe that's it. It didn't feel this muggy in Joplin yesterday. It feels like 86 right now. A lot of heat index values. In fact, all of them at least at 80 degrees into the low mid 80s on those heat index values. The extreme heat warning from the Wichita office has been extended through Saturday. Now, will it be continued into Sunday? I'd say that's still a possibility as well. There's some questions on that, but Oklahoma, Missouri, these continue through Sunday at 8. The extreme heat warning northeast Oklahoma was also extended through 8 this evening for northeastern Oklahoma, where heat index values could reach isolated pockets up to 115. On to the future track. We're looking at partly cloudy skies out there. Other than that, not much. A couple of isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder into parts of Greenwood or Coffee County will be possible late this evening, but I think most of us will remain dry. We'll go near 90 by 9 a.m., very similar to the last few days, honestly. Mid-90s by noon, lower triple digits for those highs. Heat index values up to 110, maybe some locations 112, up to maybe even 115 in some instances. And we'll have south winds gusting to about 25 miles an hour. It stays hot through Sunday, but Sunday does bring at least some brief minor changes. We'll go over those details with you in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Missouri Southern State University is welcoming a new class of students to campus this weekend. Southern Welcome ran yesterday through the 16th, giving new students 4 days to get settled in before classes begin. Orientation leaders will help students build community, learn their way around campus, take part in school traditions, and prepare for the semester ahead. The city of Pittsburgh celebrated a major milestone last night at Fire Station Number 1 as 2 new firefighters officially joined the department. Creighton Bird and Chandler Sudeth received their badges in a formal pinning ceremony, a tradition that marks recruits as official members of the department. For Sudeth, the moment carried extra meaning. His father, a retired deputy fire chief from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, had the honor of pinning his son. Firefighting runs deep in Sudeth's family. The new recruit previously worked as a firefighter in Oklahoma and now brings that experience to Pittsburgh.
Most looking forward to getting to know my community and serving these great people of Pittsburgh. I've come to know Pittsburgh over the last 2 years before I got on here, so it's been a great place to live and it's going to be an amazing place to work, so I'm excited for this opportunity.
Creighton Bird comes to the Pittsburgh Fire Department from McPherson, Kansas. Last night's ceremony honored the dedication and hard work of the new firefighters as they begin their careers protecting the community. Well, it's an emotional and expensive time for some parents as their kids move into a college dorm room. The National Retail Federation estimates students and their parents, on average, will spend more than $1,400 on dorm room essentials this year. Trey Bodge is a smart shopping expert and the mother of a college student. She recommends doing some planning before purchasing. Take stock of what's in the home and that can be reused. Create a list of wants and needs and set a budget, then stick to it. She also says not to spend that entire budget all at once because the child will likely end up seeing something that other students have that they want.
A dorm room comes with a lot of things already. You get a wardrobe or a closet, you get a desk, you get a bed. So what are the things that you really need? I think it's some items to make it feel really personal and homey, but that's really all you need.
When you do shop, Bonds recommends using cashback and rewards cards, search coupon sites, and find stores that price match, and see if your state has a tax-free holiday this month. Missouri Southern State University celebrates the grand opening of its new Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center. The $48 million facility is designed to give students hands-on experience as they prepare for careers in healthcare and other science fields. The first and second floors feature a full simulation hospital, complete with CT scanners and X-ray machines, along with a new cadaver lab and 3D printing facility.
Interestingly, here, the state had ability because of COVID to have some investment dollars, and we were able to help create a matching amount of money that allowed the university to begin to qualify for those.
University leaders say the building will provide new opportunities for thousands of students and help prepare future healthcare workers for the region. Well, as we near the 25th anniversary of 9/11, communities across the country are finding meaningful ways to honor the first responders who made the ultimate sacrifice that day. In Fort Scott, a simple tradition of remembrance has grown into something much larger, with the fire department now expanding its annual stair climb memorial after seeing overwhelming community support. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the story.
What started as a small way for Fort Scott firefighters to remember the lives lost on September 11th is growing into a community-wide event.
We received a lot of feedback from community members wondering what it was, what we were doing. And so they just kind of thought they wanted to get involved. So the next year we thought, well, let's do an event with the community. So instead of just a fire department event, we made it to where the community could be involved.
Deputy Fire Chief Mike Miles says that they opened the stair climb to the public in its second year, inviting community members to join the firefighters in taking the steps of remembrance for first responders who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, so every year it just seems to get a little more bigger every time we do it. People are always excited about the t-shirt design, and we have local businesses that reach out, want to know how they can sponsor, how they can help.
Miles says about 75 people took part the first year. Last year, 138 people registered, and they expect even more this year.
From the first year, I'd say we had like 75 people. Last year, we had 138 registered participants, and so we're anticipating having more than that.
With that growth, the fire department is adding a bike race, live music, and a poker tournament fundraiser to this year's event.
The best thing we can do is just honor the memories and sacrifice of the men and women that day, and a small appreciation for them is for us to get out and endure a little bit of what they did and, do the steps in their memory.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to Chief Deputy Miles, more activities will be announced once they're finalized. The stair climb will take place at Frary Field in Fort Scott on Saturday, September 12th, with check-ins beginning at 8 a.m. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the U.S. and Iran are both digging in over the Strait of Hormuz as oil reserves drop and new spill concerns raise the stakes. Topping World Watch, rhetoric around control the Strait of Hormuz is escalating as new data from the International Energy Agency is upping the stakes for a deal to come together. Maddie Gannon has the latest from the White House.
Both the U.S. and Iran appear to be digging in on the Strait of Hormuz, even amid new signs that the need for a deal appears more urgent. We heard from Iran's foreign minister in a post on X overnight criticizing the U.S. for what he called intelligence failures and miscalculation over both the Strait and the war more broadly. That follows President Donald Trump this week insisting that the U.S. actually controls the Strait of Hormuz. In a post on Truth Social Wednesday, Trump called the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports a, quote, wall of steel, and said that there was nothing Iran could do about it. All of this despite tracking data showing traffic through the strait is still at levels well below what it was before the war. And it comes as the International Energy Agency is warning that the global stockpiles of oil are being depleted at a rapid rate. The agency said in its latest oil market report this week that oil inventories fell by 2.2 million barrels a day last month, with global stocks falling below 7.9 billion barrels for the first time since April 2025. And we are now seeing concerns over oil spills adding another layer to all of this. Iran is now demanding compensation for pollution in waters in the Persian Gulf and surrounding areas. Satellite imagery from the European Space Agency shows large oil slicks off the coast of Iranian islands near the Strait of Hormuz. And Oman is now saying that an oil spill stemming from a sanctioned Russian tanker has reached some beaches in the country. At the White House, I'm Maddie Gannon.
Still to come, dangerous heat continues across the 4 states. Chris has a look, your forecast. The unexpected star of the Odyssey is speaking out. Matt Damon's stunt double shares her reaction to meeting the actor and why she's proud to represent female stunt performers. Plus, a new movie shows how chaos can ensue when lost at a music festival. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
As the Odyssey continues to take theaters by storm, meet the cast member making waves for her impressive muscles in the film. Devin Dalton was chosen as the stunt double for lead Matt Damon. The actor even called her biceps the greatest he's ever seen. Here's what she said when they first met on set.
I was like, I made these for you, like I wanted to make sure that he was well represented.
Dalton says she wants to inspire future female stunt performers. Despite no bridal photos from the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce wedding, the Hong Kong-based design team for company David's Bridal says they're anticipating Swift will influence upcoming wedding dress trends, and they're planning accordingly. Designers here studied Swift's aesthetic over the years and used that research to sketch about 24 wedding dresses that could go in one of their upcoming collections. The singer wore Christian Dior for her big day, but the style and the silhouette are currently unknown to the public. The new trailer for Rolling Loud the movie teases music, comedy, and a little family drama when a father-son duo takes on a hip-hop music festival. What could go wrong?
Hi, how's everything going?
Oh, everything's going pretty good.
The film stars Owen Wilson, who enlists some new friends when his son gets lost in the crowd. Rolling Loud the movie rolls to theaters in October. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Certainly sounds like a fun concept for a movie. Maybe something we have to check out. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, it does seem pretty interesting. Yeah, I was just wondering, why can't I influence future design? Yeah, wedding trends specifically. I guess I just, I'm just, don't pick the right outfits. I'm kidding with all y'all. But, hey, with the heat, we got to laugh, right? I don't know about anybody else, but I'm sure it's been somewhat tough to laugh here lately with just this continuous oppressive heat. So it's going to continue. That's why our alert days run through Sunday. But I have some information to share with you. It's not terrific necessarily, but it's not bad either. Details on your forecast when we come back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:21 on this Friday morning. Happy Friday. Yeah, I think the heat starts to get to you. I'm already kind of crazy on occasion, but I feel like it's been a little crazier the last few days because, boy, it's just so hot. I mean, I forgot to put the windows down. I had to take our oldest to cheer practice yesterday evening, and I've been trying to put the windows down. on my car so that when we go out in the late afternoon, the car isn't, as hot. I didn't, and man, it was a mistake. I couldn't drive the car. I couldn't put it into drive because it was so hot. Yes, I know they've got those things for the windshield, but I don't think about it because usually, I'm waking up and getting in the car when it's dark. Anyway, it's been hot. It's been uncomfortable. We've been dealing with dangerous heat. I want to say so far, this region seems to be handling this well. You guys are doing pretty good about, limiting your time outdoors, taking breaks, staying hydrated, finding cool locations. I know that's tough, especially with how hot it's been, but I do have some good news. Quick recap on what we have as of right now. Wichita has expanded their extreme heat warnings now through 7 o'clock tomorrow. The extreme heat warning in northeast Oklahoma has been extended until 8 this evening because heat index values in parts of Oklahoma could reach up to 115. I think in our area we're still looking at 112, maybe 113. Still, that's not great. That's still dangerous, but we have that. And then once this extreme heat warning goes, if they allow it to go, the heat advisory will take back over and run through 8 o'clock Sunday. And of course, the Springfield side of things, still no changes there. Extreme heat warning through 8 o'clock Sunday evening. And that is because of all of this. I mean, take a look. By 5 o'clock this afternoon, we're looking at heat index values up to 110, maybe a smidge higher in locations. We go into Saturday, it's a smidge better, but still approaching 110 degrees. And we go into our Sunday. Sunday's going to get a little more interesting. And I'll tell you why. First off, you can see we still get an opportunity to get hot. We see those heat index values to 110, but as we're at 4 o'clock, take a look. Do you see that? It's hard to see, I know, but do you see that little drop in heat index values? We at least have some kind of momentary isolated relief on the way. As for today, there's not much out there. Future track suggesting, again, we could get a couple of isolated showers. In fact, this update is new now. It's added them a little further south and east, but as you can see, they aren't there very long, and there's not that many of them, but a couple of stray showers, let's say Greenwood, Coffee, maybe into Woodson, Wilson counties, Coffee. I already said Coffee County, Greenwood and Elk County. Goodness, could see something. We go into our Saturday, a couple isolated showers, maybe along north of 54 on the Missouri side. Otherwise, it's another hot, partly cloudy day. And then we go into Sunday, and Sunday, it's a lot of the same. We still have the partly cloudy skies. It is still hot as can be outside. But as we get about 3, 4 o'clock, we get little pop-up storms. Now, unfortunately, not everybody's going to see rain, but if you do, you will get a little relief. And that's where that little drop in heat index values came, because the southern portion of our area Sunday evening could get a stray pop-up shower or two. Now, we run out of data at 1 a.m. Monday, but you see these thunderstorms, as we go into late Sunday and early Monday, they bring us a level 1 out of 5. And actually, I think it's going to be more from storms that come in from the north. So it's still not a great chance, but it's there. We're also not overly concerned right now about this severe risk. It's 1 out of 5, but it is something we'll keep an eye on. And you can see it's barely clipping Greenwood, Coffee County out there for today. Again, obviously not overly concerned with it at this particular point. Taking a look at this morning, though, partly cloudy skies, mid-80s to get this day underway, low 90s by 11. Our highs today cruising back into the lower triple digits, hanging on through Sunday. Of course, heat index values to 110 through Sunday. And you can see we get briefly cooler, closer to normal, but still above average for Sunday night into Monday. And then temperatures take right back off again. Some good news toward the beginning of not this upcoming week, but the week after. We start to see some changes, and we're hoping those stay true because we could certainly use some relief from the heat. Let's check your forecast. We're sending it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, a good reason to skip the elevator and take the stairs. New research shows walking upstairs significantly reduces the risk of death from cardiovascular disease. A University of East Anglia study found people who regularly climb stairs were 39% less likely to die from heart problems compared to people who don't climb stairs often. Taking the stairs is a simple and often overlooked way to get some daily physical activity. Men are more likely to catch tuberculosis than women. That's according to University College London research that found the men are biologically susceptible to TB, which explains why they make up 2/3 of cases worldwide. The study's authors say more study is needed to understand whether work, social environment, and lifestyle explain why men are more vulnerable to the disease. Being unemployed could greatly increase the risk of death in women with early menopause. A study published in the journal Menopause found that social disadvantage, especially unemployment, is strongly linked to mortality, cardiovascular disease, and even dementia, often among women who experience menopause before the age of 45. Early menopause affects about 6% of women worldwide. The American Academy of Allergies, Asthma, and Immunology says about 6 in 10 households have pets, but millions of people are allergic to our four-legged friends. Researchers may have a solution. Scientists in New York use gene editing technology to stop 2 beagles from producing a major dog allergen. Jared Hill has the story.
Good girl. For Matt Walker, being a dog lover came with one problem.
I grew up with allergies to dogs, which meant that I could never have a dog growing up.
But this beagle named Bailey changed that. Walker used his expertise as a geneticist to alter her DNA so that she wouldn't produce a key allergen.
I've lived with Bailey for over a year now and haven't had a single allergic reaction. It's been completely life-changing, and she's such a delight.
Walker and his team at Kindred Companion Sciences created Bailey and her twin Alfie using the gene editing technique called CRISPR. They switched off a gene that produces a major allergen found in dogs' saliva, hair, and dander.
This type of edit actually occurs naturally in dogs all the time and could be achieved just by conventional breeding. The advantage of using CRISPR is that you can introduce it into a specific spot without waiting for it to arise.
But while the genetic tweak targeted the primary dog allergen known as CAN-F1, doctors caution people can react to other allergens too.
Those were not tested, and so we don't exactly know just how effective or broadly useful this could be for stopping dog allergy in humans.
Critics point to ethical concerns and say gene editing may discourage people from adopting strays and unwanted animals. As for the beagles, they're just busy being dogs, getting regular vet checkups to make sure that they stay healthy. And while the science may be complex,
Want to go outside and go for a walk?
the bond is simple. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Bailey's sister Alfie lives in Florida with another scientist. The FDA regulates gene-edited animals, and researchers say it could be years before dogs like Bailey and Alfie are available to the public. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, Fort Scott lays claim to the largest solar and battery system in southeast Kansas. More from the business with this distinction.
And our alert days continue with dangerous heat hanging on out there. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, we meet a couple who turned running into emotional therapy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:32. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's, Friday. Finally Friday, August the 14th. Happy Friday to all of you out there. I'm telling you, the heat's finally gotten to me. I mean, I'm already strange enough. I've told people, by the way, I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. Like, I don't do things that are not right, but I do like to have fun. But boy, I'm
It's
on
like
it
the
today.
delirium of heat has hit you.
I think that's it. And I suspect I'm not the only one who's out there and like channeling their inner Jim Carrey. Just every so often you're breaking out weird moves and going, hey, let's go.
I just started, I had my time where I just didn't feel good this week. I don't know if it was heat related or something else, but I mean, I'm glad to be back. I feel better. So.
Yeah. So first of all, good to have you back. Second, between you, me, and some others, it makes like 5 of us within just this week alone here at the station that have in some way or another been under the weather just briefly. And like I say, I think it's because of the weather.
Yeah.
I really think it's
I'm
that.
going to blame them.
Whoa. You don't blame the weather people.
Yeah, I'm going to blame you, Chris. Specifically
Most people
you.
do. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think it's the heat. It's just kind of, getting to everybody. And unfortunately, it's going to hang on a little bit longer out there. We'll start with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh. I'm feeling this Jim Carrey, Gary Oldman combination. I feel like that could be a hazardous combination in reality, but could be for an interesting movie. Those two together, like that could be fun. All right, West Coast Camera 7. 27th in Rangeline, looking good. And the MoDOT camera, 32nd in Hammonds Boulevard, also looking good. Numbers, well, they are numbers. 84 in Joplin, 81 in Pittsburgh. They're not our favorite round of numbers for this time of morning, but that's what we've got. We got low mid 80s out there and some upper 70s. Cassville's still our cool spot at 78. And we factor in just a wee bit of that dew point and humidity. Feels like 86 in Joplin. That's where it's the warmest. Feels like 85, Pittsburgh, Miami, Carthage. But again, most of us, in fact, all of us, there's no 70-degree dew points. Now, Cassville, you're only a couple of degrees up. Mount Vernon, for example, you're only a degree warmer. But still, the point is it already feels warmer than what it is. Extreme heat warnings. Wichita's extended them now through 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Oklahoma, Tulsa's extended the heat warnings through 8 this evening, with the heat advisory still expected to take back over at 8 this evening and continue through 8 p.m. Sunday. And then the Missouri side of things, Springfield side of things, really no changes here. Extreme heat warning through 8 o'clock Sunday evening. Look at the future track. We've got some partly cloudy skies out there. An isolated brief shower or even rumble of thunder will be possible out in our northwestern counties here, but as you saw, it's very brief, doesn't last long, and the majority of us don't see anything at all. We'll go close to 90 by 9 o'clock this morning. Some numbers very similar from the last few days. They'll be similar for the next few days. 96 by noon, highs and lower triple digits. Of course, heat index values 110, maybe up to 112 in some cases out there. There's, at least for a couple of us, some brief relief as we head into Sunday, and then it gets hot yet again. Details on your full forecast in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Sources familiar with the matter tell CBS News that Luigi Mangione is in discussions about a possible plea deal on federal charges ahead of a court appearance tomorrow. Mangione is accused in the 2024 killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Carissa Lawson has the latest.
Sources tell CBS News plea discussions between federal prosecutors and defense attorneys have been ongoing in the Luigi Mangione case, but it's not clear if an agreement has been reached. The 28-year-old defendant is set to appear in U.S. District Court in Manhattan Friday morning.
What he could be aiming for in this plea agreement is perhaps the government arguing for some type of lesser sentence. You never get a guaranteed sentence when you enter into a federal plea deal.
Mangione faces federal and state charges in connection with the shooting death of United Healthcare chief executive Brian Thompson outside a Manhattan hotel, where an annual investor conference was taking place. Mangione has pleaded not guilty in both cases. In the federal case, Mangione is charged with 2 counts of federal stalking resulting in death, while the state charges are for second-degree murder, a weapons charge, and a forged instrument charge.
If he pleads guilty to those 2 stalking charges, the most he could get is life in prison without the possibility of parole.
If a plea deal is reached in federal court, that could have an impact on Mangione's state trial, which is set to begin next month. If the federal trial moves forward, it's currently set to begin in January. Carissa Lawson, CBS News, New York.
Attorneys for Mangione have not yet responded to CBS News' request for comment. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney for Southern District of New York also declined to comment. A Fort Scott printing company is now running on solar power and batteries. Secan Printing installed the largest solar and battery system in southeast Kansas back in April. The 300 kilowatt solar array with 240 kilowatt batteries will cut the company's electric demand charges by lowering peak power usage throughout the day.
Our building was set up beautiful for this. We have standing seam roof, and these solar panels clamp right on. They don't have to penetrate our roof, and so it makes a really nice setup, and we're kind of the perfect setup for it.
The system took 10 months to complete. The batteries also manage power spikes from the largest printing presses during production. Well, when a Webb City couple learned they couldn't conceive children, they decided to channel their heartbreak into something positive. What started as a way to cope evolved into a running club that's become so much more than exercise. In this week's edition of Doing Good, KOAM's Ty Parks takes us for a run with the Social Miles Club.
In early 2024, Nick and Sarah Vaca had some heartbreaking news and decided to overcome it by preparing for a race.
We started coming out onto the trail, and we thought this would be a heck of a lot more fun if we had other people out here doing it with us. So we just started inviting our friends to join us. And over time, people just started showing up, and they kept showing up. And at first it was, our friends trying to support us, trying to be nice. And then every now and again, someone would show up who we didn't know.
Friends started to join, then those friends invited more friends. The group grew. Not everybody goes for the running. Some come to catch up and walk, walkers like Andy Johnson.
All my friends come, so it's the social part that I really enjoy, not so much the running. But we love getting physical activity and spending time with people that I like hanging out with.
National Guard soldier Daniel Wyatt says the club helps him in other ways.
My friend Jose, he introduced me to the Social Miles Club. He told me to come out. Originally, I really didn't want to do it, but he peer pressured me into doing it, and now it became a lifestyle to actually come out here and actually run with everybody. That was great. I used to be an introvert, so some of this stuff is not the best, but it helps me become better with socializing with people.
Cardio and community.
Just made some really awesome connections and friendships with people all throughout Joplin. I love this city and I want to invest in it. And so that's another heart behind why we created this, was just to give people something to do and something to belong to.
In Webb City, Missouri, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The club says it will start meeting on Saturday mornings as it gets dark early. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Why seeing isn't always believing when it comes to online home tours. Consumer Watch smartphones are getting smarter, and this one has a few tricks up its sleeve.
How's my outfit?
This plain white t-shirt looks clean and casual, fits you perfectly, and gives off a relaxed and natural vibe.
The new robot phone has an AI-powered camera that pops up on a robotic arm, allowing it to interact with you and move around the room while keeping you in frame for hands-free video calls. Well, if you're in the market for a new home or just love scrolling through Zillow, you may have noticed it's getting harder to tell the difference between a dream home and what's being dreamed up by artificial intelligence. Now, some states are cracking down on misleading home listings. Evan Moon reports.
Could this be house phishing? More listings are using AI to add furniture, repaint walls, spruce up landscaping, even add windows. But when does virtual staging cross the line into deception or even fraud?
It's floor-to-ceiling windows, and now they're tiny windows. That really is fraud. It's deceptive practices. It's false advertising.
Real estate attorney Adam Lightman-Bailey says most states don't have regulations for agents creating AI-altered home listings.
They can make it look like a new construction, immaculate place. The question is, how far are you going? I really don't see a court case. You need damages to win a court case, and there are no damages other than your cab ride or subway ride to the space.
On Zillow, you can redesign homes with the click of a button. Luxury, farmhouse, coastal. But real estate broker Andrew Azalea says virtual staging is different from more deceptive AI practices.
You're staring at a windowless building, altering this and changing that view. 14-foot ceilings, you have 3 windows. You would think there'd be a lot more light. I can alter the light and make you think it's bright in here all day long.
So we put some AI platforms to the test, adding furniture, painting walls, making the space brighter.
In some cases, AI created staircases and added extra walls.
So why do you try not to use AI on a listing?
It's horrible for the agent because anytime you start an interaction that way, it doesn't end well. Real estate agents from the get-go don't have the greatest reputation. They're treated almost like used car salesmen, and this just kind of proves that point.
Increasingly, states are issuing warnings against deceptive listings, potentially suspending real estate licenses. Officials say never buy a home sight unseen. Visit in person, take measurements, and assess any damage for yourself. Evan Moon, CBS News.
Zillow says it requires listing photos to accurately represent a home and uses safeguards to screen some images while clearly labeling AI-altered photos in Zillow-controlled features. Shoppers can also report misleading listings, which Zillow says it reviews and addresses with listing providers. That's it for Consumer Watch, and now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
You were just talking, I think we need that phone from the beginning to assess this forecast and put it in a very pleasant way, like it did the plain white t-shirt. You could just straight up say, okay, come on, Sam, smile. There you go. It could say something like, it's like these temperatures are hot, but the folks have learned how to deal with them, and otherwise it could be a worse forecast. That makes it sound better, right? It's not, unfortunately, but we do have alert days continuing through Sunday. I'm trying to make everybody better. Man, it's Friday. It's been hot. Let's have some fun. Okay. I'm joking. We're going to have a look at your forecast and Ag Day right after this.
I'm Haley Biglehoff with today's Ag Day Minute. Well, it's been another wild week of Mother Nature taking a toll on farmers' fields. In central Indiana, one farmer is dealing with entirely too much water. The derecho that moved through earlier this week dumped 12 inches of rain on Bodie Kitchell's fields. And now you can see it here, his corn is swimming in it. One meteorologist told us that he looked at data from Muncie, Indiana, and he found that rainfall they typically see over 3 days fell in less than 24 hours. USDA is feeling some criticism after deleting a post on X on Wednesday. The post listed the ways NASS compiles the August WASDE crop production report. Now, people who responded to the post said that it led them to believe there were changes when there weren't. The post and related replies were made before the WASDE report was released. The USDA deleted the entire thread from X. Inventories of diesel in the U.S. are at their lowest levels for this time of year in 3 decades. That's as the conflict in the Middle East, as well as the Russia-Ukraine war, continues to crunch supply. Well, AAA reports that the average price of a gallon of diesel is $5.40 as of Thursday. Now you can compare that to a month ago when a gallon was $4.87. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on this station or get updates at agweb.com.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, it's 5:50 now on this Friday morning. I have recovered from, attempting to have fun. Apparently, that's not how it's meant to be because I almost died. Didn't literally almost die, but that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of not fun is what that was. Let's talk about the heat. I know we've been saying it over and over and over, but just so you were up to speed, especially heading into the weekend. I know some schools back in session. Some are starting next week. This is your last weekend to get out, have a little fun. You're going to have to do so cautiously unless you're heading out to Antarctica or Siberia, something along those lines, because it is going to continue to be hot across our area. We've got extreme heat warnings from the Wichita office now again extended through tomorrow evening at 7. Could these or heat advisories come back up and go through Sunday? I think it's entirely possible. I think it's very probable. I can't guarantee it, but I think it's very probable. We've got extreme heat warnings that have been extended now through 8 this evening in northeastern Oklahoma, where heat index values could for some approach 115 degrees. These extreme heat warnings will expire at 8 this evening in Oklahoma. At least that's the expectation right now. The heat advisory will go back into effect at that same time and run through 8 Sunday. And then no changes from the Springfield side of things. Extreme heat warning continues through 8 o'clock Sunday, and no surprises really there. Honestly, so far, no surprises with these whatsoever. And here's why, of course. I guess the one beneficial thing, I ran into a gentleman at the downstream Q store yesterday coming back from Diamond. And he mentioned something that's very obvious, that the forecast, at least for the last several days, has been very, very easy, very straightforward. And I suppose that's the one thing. At least this has been consistent. We haven't been dealing with wildly changing numbers or heat index values. There's at least a consistent expectation of heat index values up to 110. Now, I'm not saying that's good. Obviously, that's hot. It's uncomfortable. It can be dangerous and potentially deadly for some. But there's at least that consistency. We go into Saturday. It's a little bit lower for some of us, but for the most part, it's still up to 110 degrees, and the same thing again on Sunday across the area. But Sunday, things do change at least briefly for some of us as we get a few isolated storms a little later in the day. Let's talk about the future track. Now, for today, we could get an isolated shower, a rumble of thunder along this boundary. Anything we see, as you can see, is confined in our northwestern counties. It's also very brief, and then it's gone. And it doesn't really move a lot either before it's gone. The majority of the region will continue to remain dry. We'll clear out again tonight, mostly clear skies, as we go into our Saturday. An isolated shower or two in the morning north of the 54 corridor onto the Missouri side. So we're looking more at maybe northern Vernon County and then getting into St. Clair and Bates County. That's a possibility, but again, the majority of us stay dry. We're partly cloudy. We are hot throughout the day on Saturday. And most of Sunday is the same way. And that's why for our Sunday, you saw the heat index values still climb because the majority of the day is dry. But by about 3, 4 o'clock, some isolated little pop-up showers and storms begin forming in the southern half of our area. There's not many of them, so you may be close enough to hear one, but not close enough to have an impact from one. But these will develop They'll be out there. They're brief, but they do try, and that's it. And then this starts to run out of data at 1 o'clock in the morning Monday, but we do see some additional shower and thunderstorm chances that could lead. Now, we do have a 1 out of 5 barely clipping us today. Not overly concerned about that at all, but we do have a 1 out of 5 in some of our northeastern counties, the eastern parts of our area, for some storms late Sunday into early Monday. So, of course, keep an eye on that for you. As for today, partly cloudy, mid-80s to begin our day, climbing in the low 90s by 11. Got another look at your forecast right after this.
Well, Gus the gorilla has represented Pittsburgh State University since the 1920s, when a group of students created the mascot to boost school spirit. An art major designed the gorilla, which was officially adopted in 1925. Gussie, a female gorilla with a red bow, represented women's athletics alongside Gus from 1952 until 1989, when women's athletics adopted the gorilla name.
That's very cool. There's a very unique history to some of the mascots in our area, and it's interesting to learn about how some of them came to be. Very, very, very cool story. And it's a lot cooler than that. Lower triple digits yet again today. Heat index values up to 110. Of course, our alert days running through Sunday. South winds gusting to 25 miles an hour. Into the evening we go. Still is not very comfortable. Low 80s, and we'll have partly cloudy skies. South winds continuing to gust to 25. Still breezy tomorrow. Triple digits continuing through Sunday. Some of us in the southern part of our area could get a few isolated shower storms late afternoon, early evening. And they're watching for maybe a few more late Sunday into early Monday. And a couple of strong storms may be possible. And it's just enough with a weak cold front to get us slightly closer to normal from Sunday night into Monday, but it's very short-lived. Triple digits return again next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more after this.